Hey guys, how's it going? So as soon as I started doing videos on my new Taurus G3, you guys started asking me down in the comments, hey man, what holster would you use? Do you have a holster for your G3 already? What would you recommend? Can we use holsters for other guns for our G3? Well, as soon as you guys started asking, I started doing some research, and there's a million holster companies out there. Some are really good, some are okay, and some are not so good. Well, if you guys know much about this channel, I really have always tried to support small businesses, people just like you and I, who are trying to actually contribute to gun owners, contribute to the gun rights, you know, people who are just regular old people like me and you, instead of some of these big conglomerates that have been known to throw us under the bus in the past and things like that. I'm also a big supporter of buying made in the USA when we can, so I didn't want to review just any old holster, the first one I could find. So after much research, I have found a G3 holster that I really like and that I can stand behind and that I'm going to recommend to you guys. So we're going to take a look at it here and see what you guys think. You know, I really appreciate you guys bringing up comments and questions down below the videos. Love talking to you guys. So this is hopefully going to help all of you who have been wondering about a Taurus G3 holster. Alright, so it's cold outside here in Michigan, and I'm always usually going to wear some type of at least light jacket like this, if not a regular winter coat. Now, there's two big types of concealed carry out there. There's IWB and OWB. The holster I'm going to show you today is an OWB, and I've been finding myself over the years going to OWB, outside the waistband, more and more, because I find it's much more comfortable to drive a vehicle. I don't have the gun digging into me as much, and most OWB carry guns can be concealed by very easily by an outer garment like this, if not even just your regular shirt. So let's take a look, guys. The holster I've decided to actually review and recommend to you guys is Forge Tech. They are made in the USA. Now they're actually made right here in Michigan, within an hour of where I'm recording this video. So this is like I said, a small business made in the USA. These are the types of businesses I like to actually support, and I would encourage you guys doing as well. Now look, if you guys don't live in Michigan, no worries. I am going to include their website down into the description of this video. They also sell on eBay, and they have a really nice Instagram. I'm going to link all that down below. So it doesn't matter where you guys live. You know, in the United States, I don't know if they ship internationally or not, but you guys are covered anywhere in the country on these. They just happen to be a Michigan business. And look, guys, there's a lot of companies who have been emailing me lately saying, hey, will you try out my holster? Will you do this? Will you do that? That's not the type of channel this is. I actually sought out a quality holster manufacturer that still sold their goods at an affordable price because you guys have been asking me so much. So I would like to thank Forge Tech for sending me this holster for the review and for the channel, and ultimately to show you guys. But this isn't somebody that is sponsoring the channel. They did send me the holster, and I appreciate that, but only after I sought them out, after doing my own research and studying. So sorry to interrupt, but I'm showing the OWB holster because that's what I prefer to carry, but these are also available in IWB inside the waistband, and they're also going to be available for the Taurus G2C and the G2S. Let's take a quick look here. So I'm just wearing my normal jeans, my shirt, my regular outer, you know, garment here, and I'm carrying this G3 right now. You probably can't even tell that I'm carrying it, and my Forge Tech OWB holster. Now this is a Kydex holster. We're going to take a look at it in 1 second here, more of a tabletop. I just wanted to show you guys the way I'm choosing to wear this holster. You can slide it back and forth on the belt. I'll show you guys in a second a couple different connections for this, but yeah. I finally have a nice custom handmade Kydex holster that works great. Let's take a look here at me drawing it so you guys can see. There's plenty enough retention where it's not just going to fall out on its own, but when I actually pull the gun on purpose, like I'm trying to draw it, comes right out very, very easily. Smooth reholstering, smooth draw. you notice it's not yanking my belt and pants up. You know, have you guys ever had a holster like that? It kind of sucks where it's so tight that when you go to pull the gun out, it's doing one of these to you. No, perfect fit. Easy to draw. Don't ever try to speed reholster, guys, while we're on this topic, because you're never going to win anything by reholstering as fast as you can in a self-defense situation. If you're in competition, you guys already know more than me about handling guns, so there you go. But yeah, smooth draw, just the right amount of retention. I can get it right out where it needs to be, go about my daily business. Alright, one more thing before I take this gun off. I do want to show you guys how easy it is with the type of clip that I'm using right now on this holster to take it off. You don't have to take your belt all the way off your pants. So this is how I would generally take a holster off after I'm done carrying. I'm coming home for the day. Usually what I do, and you guys probably have your own methods, is I'll just, you know, undo my belt a little bit. We're going to find that there's a clip on the back here. I'll go over that in 1 second. I'm going to unlock the clip. I'm going to push in on this little lever. Instantly it comes right off. Now you can do this with the belt still tight. I just usually choose to undo the belt. And there we go. We're ready to go. I also recommend, if you're carrying a round chambered or you're not real comfortable, take the gun out of the holster first, set the gun aside, and then just take the empty holster off. You guys know your own confidence levels on how you want to, you know, do these things, but that's kind of a foolproof way to do it. Take the gun out first, set it aside, then take the holster off your belt. Alright, we're going to get more into the details of this holster now. And as you guys know, I'm spending a lot of my own money making these videos. I'm not trying to make money, but if you guys have a couple extra bucks, my Patreon link is down in the description. If you guys could throw me a bone or two, it would really help, because I am constantly buying new stuff for the channel and ultimately for reviews for you guys. So any help would be much appreciated. Thank you. Let's go over the actual specifics of the holster a little more, and I'm also going to talk a little bit about the company, because what companies we do business with actually matters. And I own a small business. A lot of you guys own or work for small businesses, so I'm all about supporting people just like me and you. So, Forged Tec Holsters, made in the USA. I'm going to put all their information down into the description here, but you guys can take a look at that and pause. ForgedTechHolsters.com. So basically, they're a small business, but they're a busy business. They manufacture about 3,000 holsters a year, each one custom made to order. So they're selling plenty enough holsters where they definitely know what they're doing. But they're still a small business where you can actually reach out to them directly per order. Now, I would note, I'm going to put their eBay link for their eBay store down in the description. But if you want customized options, because some holsters are kind of, you know, made to order. Other holsters you can get are completely custom, different colors, patterns, things like that. If you reach out to them on their website, they're going to be able to take care of you as far as customizing orders and things like that a little bit better. They're also available on Etsy, and the link to their Instagram will be down there so you can see all their cool pictures. It's actually a really nice Instagram page, one that I'm following myself. So, like I said, small business, but busy enough where they know what they're doing. These guys do this every single day, all day long. They're complete professionals. Nothing wrong with making your own Kydex holster in your kitchen. It's fine. A lot of you guys probably do that, but this isn't a kitchen table outfit. This is a real business that's actually going to stand behind their work and put out quality products, which is important to me, right? So basically what we have here is a Kydex holster. You guys are probably kind of familiar with Kydex, right? And the Kydex is 0.08 inches thick, plenty thick enough, just as thick as pretty much anything I'm familiar with. The Kydex is very nice. I would note on the mouth of the holster where you're, you know, removing the gun and reholstering, all of the edges are nice and smooth. I had no snags or any burrs or anything like that. You can see all the way down the inside of this holster. It has a very shiny, smooth, glossy finish on the inside, which is good. That's what you want. And a little bit of a textured outer finish. So far, the cosmetics of this holster, as you can see, are actually very nice. It also features, you know, right or left-handed. So when you order this, you're going to specify, do you want it to be right-handed or left-handed? That's important, guys. You don't want to use a right-handed holster on the left side. It doesn't work out too well. Trust me on that one. It has nice flared openings for easy reholstering, which is nice. I've had some holsters in the past where the mouth is straight up and down 90 degrees and it makes it where the gun wants to catch on the lips. There is a nice flare on here that makes reholstering very easy and natural. The gun just kind of, as long as you get it close, it just wants to find its way right in there, right? Nice little positive retention click, but I'm not struggling to reholster the gun. So this is nice. The fasteners are very high quality with a black oxide finish. I was actually looking at that right away when I first got the holster out of the package here. Very nice looking holsters, or screws rather, appear to be of a high quality finish. Same thing with the nuts on the other side. Okay, so as far as how to mount the holster to your belt, there's going to be two options, okay? So the first option, and this is going to be your entry-level option. So we'll go over prices just a little bit here. Now, keep in mind, I'm filming this on November 25th, 2019. Things can change. Videos can stay up a long time. So if you're looking at this 5 years from now, maybe the prices have changed, right? I'm sure gas will have doubled in price by then. You guys know what I'm saying. So as of right now, the basic price for this holster is $30. And it's going to come with a paddle, just a regular old paddle for OWB, which I like paddle holsters. I don't have a problem with it at all. So $30, and it's going to include an injection molded paddle of a nice construction. And another thing that's nice, you can see the paddles are made in the USA once again. That's a big plus for me. Always liking to support local and domestic businesses, right? So $30 for the holster with the paddle. Now they also have what's called their combat loop, and that's how I have the holster configured right now. This combat loop is pretty cool, guys. So basically, here's how this works. There's a clip here. There's a button on the bottom of it that we're going to press in, and it's going to relieve tension, and we can just simply flip the loop open. Okay? So this is where we would take our belt, run the holster through the belt, right? And then we are simply going to press down, and we're going to hear it clip into place. Obviously, I know the holster's on backwards, guys. I'm just trying to show you how it works. You guys are funny sometimes. Someone's going to say, hey, bro, we have a problem here. You put your holster on backwards. I know. I just don't have a camera like on the inside of my waistband to show it from the other angle. So let's look at this clip a little more, because this is one of the nicest things about this clip. The clip is made by Dot. It's a very high quality injection molded polymer, and we can see that it has a steel hinge. We're going to look at the pins for the hinge right there. You can see that. It also has a steel keeper bar, if you will, or a latching bar. So this is nice. We're just going to simply close it over the belt. Just push down with just a little bit of pressure. There's a positive click. To open it back up again, we are going to take this little tab here, which is knurled. It has some nice, grip on there. It's actually curved for your finger. Like, every little detail is really nice on this. So we're going to push in. It's spring loaded, and then it's going to pop back open again. Well, what if it pops open while you're actually having it on your belt? Well, that's not good. But they already thought of that. So we're going to clip it shut. Now, if you see this little push button here that's used to release it, we're just going to move it. It'd be to my right, just a teeny bit. I don't know if you guys can see that. Okay. Now it's locked in place, where if you push, the button no longer works. We are now physically engaged on that steel locking bar. So while you're wearing the holster all day, leave it locked. At the end of the day, when you're ready to take it off, we're simply going to slide this over the opposite direction. Little click. We're going to now push on this button, and it pops right open. So this is a pretty cool design. Very durable. Everything feels great on it. I like that the steel is in the right place. Now it is fastened to the back of the holster with these black oxide finish screws yet again, but there are 3 connection points to the holster itself. There are bolsters that are formed into the kydex that come out there. You see they raise up to interact with the screws. And it might be hard for the picture to see it. Maybe right here. There's a nice neoprene type rubber right there in between that cushions and helps cinch the fastener into place. So that's really nice also. Now, the other adjustment on the holster would be what's called the retention. So how much degree of force it takes to draw the weapon. Now, this is how it was right out of the box. I have not adjusted the retention yet. And let's check it out. I'm wiggling it around upside down. I'm hitting the gun. I mean, I'm not going to hit it as hard as I can. Obviously, it'll come out. But look, I'm jarring it. I'm shaking. I'm actually really, really vigorously shaking it. Like fresh bottle of ketchup or something, you know? Like I'm literally shaking this thing like crazy. You can see it's holding it just fine. But it's not so much that when I go to draw the weapon, it's not pulling my pants all the way up like Steve Urkel style. For you younger guys, you'll have to look that up. But you guys my age or older know exactly what I mean, right? So the retention is just right. Now the retention is going to be set by these 2 fasteners here, where we have the black oxide screws here, and then the nuts on the back. And in the middle, again, nice rubber spacers. So if you want to make the retention a little tighter, you're simply going to tighten the screws. You want to tighten them to about equal pressure, guys. So if you do a quarter turn on this one, quarter turn on that one. Just remember, when you're adjusting your holster, don't go crazy with it. Keep testing the draw in and out, because just a little bit of adjustment can go a long ways. And you don't want it too loose, but you don't want it too tight. That's why it's nice to have an adjustable retention such as what this holster provides. So that's awesome. Like I said, durable kydex, not really a lot of care that's needed. You can take your gun out of this. You can wash it with warm soapy water. Don't use boiling water. Don't put it in your dishwasher on high. I know some people put them in their dishwasher. I wouldn't put it on high because kydex is molded from heat. So with this kydex holster or any holster, don't get it super, super hot because you could actually maybe reform some of the kydex. But just use your common sense. I found sometimes after a holster of mine gets pretty cruddy from, you know, I work outside, guys, doing landscaping, getting all the grass clippings, everything on it. I'll just literally take it and just fill up like a bowl with some hot tap water. Not scalding hot, but just warm, like bath water temperature. Little squirt of dish soap, swish it around, wipe it off, rinse it with some water. Just set it there to air dry overnight. By the next morning, I'm good to go. That's how I clean my holsters. Maybe a little toothbrush if there's gunk, you know, crud somewhere. But yeah. These things are pretty much maintenance free. It just depends, hey, what lifestyle you lead. If you're a landscaper or a garbage man or whatever, I mean, I get dirty every day, guys. I clean them every once in a while, especially the inside. I don't want crud, you know, sitting there and scratching the gun up any more than necessary. And you guys know what I'm saying. So, nice maintenance free design. But yeah, what's really impressing me about this holster so far is the high degree of fit and finish. The fact that the mouth of it is, you know, slightly beveled. They did a good job with all their edges. All the edges have been finished. I don't make holsters, guys, but I'm assuming they were probably hand sanded with a light grit sandpaper on all the edges, because there is absolutely no signs anywhere on this of any type of, you know, over molding or anything like that. I mean, there's no flash, if you will, from the kydex. This is really, really smooth. I know you guys can't feel what I'm feeling right now, but they really did a really good job, and I'm impressed, guys. Like I said before, they did provide this for the channel, but that was only after I sought them out, because I was looking for a company that's kind of like this. I wanted them to be small enough where they still need our business, and we're supporting small businesses. You know, the backbone of the United States, really. And I wanted to support a small business, but I didn't really want to do something that was literally made in somebody's kitchen either, necessarily. Nothing wrong with that. But I wanted to refer you guys to an actual company that'll answer your emails, that'll stand behind their product, that will provide customizations, a multitude of colors, has figured out over the years all of the correct fasteners to use, because they're not the same, right? I really like that they had the option for, you know, cost, affordability. So this exact holster with the paddle, which is plenty fine, $30, And I've bought $60 Kydex holsters before that did not have any better degree of fit and finish as far as paying attention to the mouth, the edges, the overall construction, the quality of fasteners, all of that. 30 bucks, guys, is not bad. Now, if you want the belt loop here, the combat loop as it's called, that is an upcharge, or they sell a package deal where you can get both. Okay, so right now I'm looking at their eBay store. 30 bucks. Paddle, which is made in the USA, that comes with the hardware. And it would come mounted to your holster, I assume, if you just bought the paddle, right? So, 30 bucks. Now, if you want this nice combat loop, this dots combat loop, which I think is really, really nice, 40 bucks. So exactly as pictured, 40. Now, if you want both, if you can't make up your mind, you're just not sure yet, or you might like to alternate depending on the day or the occasion, right? You can get a combination of both for 43 bucks. So 40 bucks just like this, 30 with just the basic paddle, or for only 3 bucks more if you're buying the clip, he'll throw this in. So 43 bucks as shown right here, and that's for two different, you know, types of mounting, types of fastening to your belt, if you will. So I think that's pretty nice that they offer the different options. Now, I just chose black. You really can't go wrong with a black holster, right? But there's other colors available for this, like flat dark earth, coyote brown, Tiffany blue, OD green, and desert sand. And again, if you contact them on their website, there's other customizations and colors and slight alterations that can be made for this holster. Now, I'm just showing you guys right now for the G3. But keep in mind, go to their website, go to their eBay store. There's holsters for so many different guns. I don't know the exact number, but they have holsters for almost everything. So keep in mind, this isn't just for the G3, even though that's what this holster is. Tec Holsters sells holsters for most of any kind of modern or popular gun that you guys are going to be, you know, generally carrying for concealed carry today. So let's take a look at this clip one more time. This is pretty nice. Very thick construction, steel locking bar here, steel hinge on the top. Comes down, clicks right into place. Spring-loaded button where you just push it up, open up the holster. It's always hard to do stuff on camera, guys, but there you go. Put your belt through it. Now, if you want, you can just run your belt literally through, too. That's the totally other option. And then when you've got it on for the day, you just slide this little lever over that locks into place, disables the button, you're good to go. Now, here's what's really cool about this clip. Earlier, I showed you with it in the vertical position. This is how you would normally wear it on your belt, right? You can also flip this around, utilizing the 9 different holes. You can find that they will actually fit sideways. So you can put this on horizontally. You'll just line up the appropriate holes again that are cut out of the holster. And this would make it nice for any type of web gear. So if you're not going to carry this on your belt and you want to carry it on your gear with a vertical, you know, strap rather than your horizontal belt, this can be switched around to accommodate that. If you wanted to wear the pistol on your chest, attach it to a pack or whatever. So that's pretty cool. The versatility of the vertical or horizontal mounting of this clip. Now, one more thing with the clip to keep in mind. You can choose to keep the clip at its default setting, how I did, if you want it to be able to move back and forth on your belt. I can see some people liking that. Or this has an adjustment system. We're going to notice that there is this locking bar right here. This bar is what actually puts tension on your belt and traps it in between this point and the rear here. Now you're going to notice there are a bunch of different grooves here. So you can go up to a 2-inch belt all the way down to 0.25-inch cords and webbing. So if you want to connect this via cordage or, like I said, PALS webbing or Molly webbing, all we're going to do is see, we can see right there, it just fits in a little tongue and groove. We're just going to take a little bit of pressure here, just push on it. Easy to do off of camera, guys, like most things on camera. A little harder to do on camera. I just pushed it a little bit there. Okay, it recessed in. Now I can take off this bar and I can move it anywhere I want. So I would probably move it down like one more position for the belt I was using, and that's going to give it a nice snug fit where it's not going to want to move back and forth. All the way down to and including cordage or PALS or Molly webbing We could move this all the way up closer to the hinge here, all the way to here. And see, you could use a piece of cordage and trap it right in there between this bar and the back part where it hinges. So, nice adjustable clip that can be used in the vertical or horizontal. Full adjustment for belts, webbing, or cordage. Wanted to add that in there because that is part of the clip. And one more thing, he's only charging you $10 more to get this clip added rather than the traditional paddle. And I was doing some research, and these clips cost about 10 bucks a piece a la carte plus shipping from a bunch of retailers online. So Forged Tec Holsters, they might get a little discount, of course, buying them in bulk, but they're not really marking this up for you guys. So this extra $10 upcharge, I think, is worth it. Seems to definitely be a good deal for one of these. Most places I saw want like 10 bucks for it plus 5 or 6 shipping. So if you're really on the fence and you're not quite sure, do I want paddle or do I want just, you know, this nice combat loop, I get it together because it's not a bad deal to get both, right? But the main thing I like is this, guys. I like the company. I've done quite a bit of research on them. Like I said, I reached out to them. They did not come to me and try to peddle their product. I actually started emailing them with my interests, and I said, look, I'm pretty particular on what I'm going to introduce my guys to because my subscribers and viewers, they're pretty good people, and they help me out a lot, and I don't want to steer them wrong. So I did some studying behind the scenes on a number of companies. I'm glad that I found Forged Tec Holsters because I'm looking forward to ordering more holsters from them, and their stuff's really, really nice, guys. It really, really is. So, again, I just wanted to emphasize that. This is a small business that I like to support. I would encourage you guys checking out their products. If you do buy something from them, just send them a little note with it. You know, you can add notes to an eBay purchase, or if you buy it, you know, on their website, say, hey, 2AEDU sent you over here. Just because I'm trying to, you know, keep the community together, that we have each other's back. You guys know what I'm saying. But yeah, I just like all the attention to detail that I'm noticing. This clip, very, very nice. The paddle is also a very high quality construction, made in the USA. All the edges are completely finished, very smooth. The hardware seems very high quality. And listen to that, guys. Just the perfect amount of retention. Not too much, not too little. Now this is adjustable over time. One thing I would note, and when you buy one of the holsters, you're going to read right on the back of the business card. Look, these are pretty maintenance free, guys. But the big deal is this: tighten screws and fasteners at regular intervals. Okay? So as you're moving around, stuff could get a little bit loose, right? Now, if you want to, the main thing is just keep sure that they're tight. This is with any holster, not just Forged Tec. They're just being nice enough to kind of save you some trouble with a couple of real basic tips, right? Now, here's another thing you can do. Just keep them tight, you know, with a screwdriver, nice and hand tight. Don't go overboard. Like I said before, the retention can be changed a lot with just a little bit of a turn. You can also use, if you want to, a little bit of blue Loctite. Now look, guys, I said blue Loctite. If you put a little bit of Loctite on these screws, just a little bit, a drop, half a drop at the most, don't even think about using red Loctite. If you put red Loctite on any small screws like this, that's just not a good idea. Don't. Blue Loctite is fine. A little bit of clear fingernail polish on the threads is also fine. So if you guys like to Loctite your screws, I contacted them, I asked them about that. Not a problem. They don't do it because they have found that out of the 3,000 holsters that they're selling per year, they have 3 to 4 people that actually call them and ask them about Loctite, and only a couple people that say their screws got loose. Well, that was probably the person that never took the time to routinely check the tightness of their screws and refasten them. But if you want the insurance of a little bit of Loctite, that's more than fine. They don't have a problem with it. Just make sure it's blue Loctite. Don't use the purple. Don't use the red. And God forbid, don't use the green. That's penetrating Loctite that you probably have to use, you know, a torch to get it off of there and melt your whole holster and start your house on fire. So, blue Loctite. And other than that, you know, there's really not a whole lot of maintenance. You should be good to go. Now, guys have said before, hey, look, I already have a Glock 19 holster. I already have a G2C holster. Hey, it's up to you guys. When I'm concealed carrying though, I want a holster that's exactly for my gun. Yes, the G2 holsters will work to a point-ish. The barrel and slide's going to stick out by an inch or so. I don't really care for that. And second of all, they don't exactly click in the same. I was messing around with one of my G2C holsters with the G3, and it kind of went in there and it kind of fit, but it didn't fit like a glove and click into place like this did. So if it's me and I'm going to carry this gun, whether open carrying it at the range or concealed carrying it OWB, and then I'm going to use a G3 holster. That's why I got this holster, obviously. So that's up to you guys to decide. I'm not going to tell you what you have to do, but they even note it right here on the card. And these are professionals that have been doing this a long time, Tec Holsters. They say, do not use this holster with any firearm other than the one it was designed for. And that you should always check your fit with an unloaded firearm. I strongly recommend that too. And just so you guys know, I'm practicing what I preach. This gun is completely unloaded. So get your fit, your cant, all that. Figure out where you want it to be adjusted. Unloaded firearm. And like I said earlier, I think it's a good idea to take your loaded firearm out of the holster. Just set it right in front of you, you know, and then take the holster off the belt. That's just me though, right? And do not use the holster if it's damaged or modified. So there you go. If it's damaged, send them an email, get a hold of them and tell it's damaged, and they'll figure out what you guys need to do to, you know, make it right again. And one more thing too, for people who are new to holsters, it doesn't matter what the holster is, guys. All holsters eventually are going to make a little bit of finish wear on your gun, especially these G3s, because as I've discussed in other videos, their finish just isn't the best. Great guns for the money, awesome, but these are not like a Tenefer or Melanite finish, let's face it. So you're going to notice just a little bit of scuffing, nothing major, but that's going to be on any holster. But I would note, with the smooth Kydex finish on the inside and how much chamfering and beveling is done, this holster is going to keep it to a minimum. It's not going to scratch it any more than any other holster, and probably less than most I've dealt with. But you guys that have been around holsters know what I'm talking about. It can be 100% leather holster, and it is still going to make a teeny bit of finish wear on the firearm, especially the type of finish that Taurus uses on their G3, G2C, and their G2S. You guys have a G2C? Tec Holsters makes them for those two and many, many other guns. So you guys are definitely want to check the links down in my description. It took me a while, guys, to get this video out. So I appreciate your patience, but I don't want to just go on Amazon and say, buy this Safariland, guys, and we're good to go. I want to support local businesses, and I wanted to do the research and the studying of the holster itself, the company. They've been really nice to me, emailing back and forth, guys. I wanted to check out the hardware, all the details, and it's taken me a couple weeks to 100% decide and get all the details worked out and everything, but that's kind of how I do these reviews, guys. I'm not just going to recommend any old thing to you guys, but I will tell you, I've been using this holster for a little bit so far. I'm really liking it, and I do recommend, so head on over there, check them out, take a look on their IG, follow them over there, whatever you guys want to do, and just let them know that I sent you, and we can, you know, keep our relationship built with different small quality, you know, small businesses in this country, because that's what it's all about. Alright guys, I'm going to do a follow-up with this on the range. I'll probably switch it over to the paddle for the next video so you guys can see that. I thought there might be more interest in the, you know, the combat clamp here, the clip, because it's actually really, really cool. I like it a lot. So, yeah. I got the combat loop on here right now, clip, clamp, whatever you guys want to call it. I don't care. Next video, I'm going to take this out to the range. I want to do some more shooting and testing with this gun anyways, and you guys can see me actually drawing from it on the range. Like I said earlier, I'm going to show some footage out at the range later on in another video with the paddle attached. You guys probably know how these work, but another little feature of the holster here. You can see there are two holes straight across from each other that will correspond with the screws and nuts for your paddle. So you can hook it on like this and have it go completely vertical. You'll notice there's another hole in the front here, and you can just simply choose that screw if you want your holster to have a slight bit of cant. So your belt's going to stay fixed here. You can have it go straight up and down, or you can come up here and that's going to cant the holster a little bit forward. So this is a right-handed holster. If we're using it with the cant, it's just going to change the angle a little bit. You guys probably already know what cant is, but that is how you're going to adjust your cant with your paddle holster. So if we're using the two holes that are straight across from each other, the holster is going to go up and down. If we choose to utilize that top hole, it's going to provide a little cant, and it is going to kick the holster back a little bit. So the mouth will be on more of an angle, and the pistol will cant backwards just a little bit, and this is a comfortable way to carry for many of you as well. But so far I think you guys get the point, and we finally have a nice Taurus G3 holster that I'm going to recommend. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and have a good one.